All right, we're about to dive into one of the shortest, but wow, one of the most powerful chapters in the Quran, Al-Qariah. Its name means the striking disaster, and that name alone tells you we're talking about something huge. So let's break down what that really means.
So you hear a name like that, the striking disaster, and you have to ask, right? What exactly is that? And that's the point. The name itself is a huge clue about a day that is going to change absolutely everything.
Well, the answer is pretty big. Al-Qariah is actually another name for the Day of Judgment. And the reason it's called the striking disaster is because it's going to come out of nowhere, and it'll just strike everyone's hearts with this incredible sense of shock and awe. It's a day that's, truly beyond anything we can picture.
Okay, so the Quran doesn't just give it a name and leave it at that. Oh no, it paints this incredibly vivid picture of how everything we know is just going to be completely turned upside down.
So the first image we get is, well, it's intense. It says people will be like scattered moths. You know that feeling? You flip on a porch light at night and moths just go everywhere, all chaotic and confused. That's the idea. That's what it'll be like for people, just completely lost and disoriented, not knowing where to go.
And here's the verse itself. This isn't just, some nice poetic language. It's a description from Allah, designed to help us even begin to wrap our heads around the scale of this day. It's really humbling when you think about it.
And just when you think you've got your head around that, the imagery gets even more mind-blowing. Okay, think about mountains. They're like the symbol of strength and permanence, right? Well, on this day, they'll become like carded wool. It means they'll basically be pulled apart until they're as light and fluffy as cotton balls, just drifting away. Whoa.
I mean, that verse right there just shows you the absolute power of the Creator. If something as massive and solid as a mountain can just be turned into fluff, well, it tells you that absolutely nothing is beyond His power.
So, after all this cosmic chaos, the most important part of the day begins. This is it, the moment of truth, the part where every single thing we ever did in our lives comes into play and truly matters. What happens is this very special scale is brought out. And no, it's not for weighing things like gold or anything physical. It's for weighing our deeds. Every single good thing we did on one side and every mistake on the other. It's the ultimate perfect measure of a life lived. And from there, it goes one of two ways. It's pretty straightforward. If your scale is heavy, weighed down with all your good deeds, then your reward is an amazing life of pure happiness and paradise in Jannah. But if your scale is light, well, the destination is a place called the abyss, described as a scorching fire. The outcomes are laid out crystal clear. Okay, let's talk about the good stuff for a second. Let's focus on that amazing outcome. What does it actually mean to have that heavy scale? What's the reward we're talking about here? It means you get to go home to paradise, Jannah. It's a place of total peace, total happiness. The Quran calls it a life of bliss. Think about that. Just being happy, content, and peaceful. Forever. No more stress, no more sadness, just bliss.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. Hearing all this can feel a little intense, right? But here's the most important part. This surah wasn't revealed to scare us. Not at all. It's here to help us prepare. The message is so simple. Don't be scared, be prepared. So, the big question is, how do we do that?
And here's the great news. Making that scale heavy isn't about some impossible task. It's all about the little things, the positive things we do every single day. Praying on time, being good to our parents, helping out a friend, sharing what we have, just saying something nice, or even helping out with chores. These are all things we can literally start doing right now.
This chart really breaks it down, doesn't it? Helping with the dishes, sharing your lunch, praying on time, every single one of these things, no matter how small it seems, adds a little more weight to the good side of your scale. It all adds up.
And of course, just like there are things that add weight, there are things we need to avoid that can make the scale light. We're talking about stuff like lying, hurting someone's feelings or body, taking things that don't belong to us, or just being mean. In the end, it really all boils down to the choices we make every day.
And please, remember this. This is so important. Allah doesn't expect us to be perfect. Nobody's perfect, and He knows that better than anyone. What really, truly matters is that we try. It's all about the effort, about striving to be a good person, day in and day out.
So if there's one thing to take away from this whole chapter, it's this. Every single good deed counts. Seriously. A simple smile, a nice word to someone, a tiny act of help, none of it is too small.
It all adds up and has real weight on that final, most important scale.
And that really just leaves us with one last question to think about. Now that you know all this, what's one good deed? It can be big, it can be tiny. What's one good thing you're going to do today to make your scale just a little bit heavier?